In the last episode, we built some gigantic enclosures. And I know that a build video might not be everybody's favorite type of video. So this week, we're gonna be a little bit more animal-centric, and we're actually gonna take the concept of enclosure upside down and take the animals out of their enclosures. By the way, yes, we have some new shirts. They are fantastic, and I really love them. Shout out to Black Sheep Clothing. They did an incredible job printing these shirts, and just I couldn't be happier with them. They look just so professional. I love them. I love everything about them. I love the quality of the printing. It's fantastic. And it goes without saying that Rox has got one as well. Here, let me flip the camera around. Boom. I think we look pretty snazzy in our new uniforms. Anyway, that's enough chit chat. Cue the intro. So the first thing I'm gonna do after going to go get my tortoise is show her her new enclosure that we built last episode. Now it's still at the same stage, but we actually dragged some enclosures back in here because they needed to be in here. Tegus are really warm creatures, and they were in our temperate room for a little while, and that wasn't the best because we had to keep that door open at all times so that it didn't get too hot. Anyway, let's get on with it because this tortoise is going to have the biggest out of all of them. Now, as you can see, I fit perfectly in this enclosure, and so does she. Now, keep in mind there will be a little bit of substrate, like 6 inches or 7 inches of substrate, so it'll be perfectly suitable for her. Incidentally, when the soil is high enough, this will be a perfect bridge to the other side where there is a reclused area in there. And once again, we showed it in the last episode, and it is pretty cool. You can actually go and open it from this side as well. And then you see this is an extra 4 feet of space that way. And the tortoise will definitely go in there and have a lot of fun hiding from us, which is why we got this trap here for easy access of tortoises. But as you can see, with a big water bowl in there, obviously a couple of decorations and a heating light and all of that stuff, it's going to be fantastic in here for a tortoise. I think it's a super cool environment, and I think that this little hidden cave right here is going to be a showstopper of a feature once it's done. It'll be fully scaped inside of it, and that'll be really cool as well. Spooky. Now, as you can see, roaming is not her specialty. Her enclosure that she has right now is bigger than what she's had for the last 6 years, from what we've been told. The reason why she's wet is because she was in her water bowl. Now, I don't think that she had a water bowl that she could fully submerge herself in, but now she does have a water bowl that she can fully fit in, and this morning she spent the entire morning in it, just bathing, just like this, fully spread out. It was pretty cute, actually. Now, keep in mind, she's not going to be here, she's going to be up here, right? So she'll be able to fully see out the window. This is not meant to be a wall, this is a substrate lid. Why don't we show her the hidden compartment? Right? That'll be her first time in there. And I know it's a bit of a trap right now because you can't go anywhere, but as I said, with the substrate up here, you know, it'll be just an easy back and forth right there. And this will be just a nice receded area that's kind of hidden from view, right? And hidden from light. And they'll be able, you know, tortoises, and you know how they get when, you know, they really want to find a nice spot to lay down and not be bothered. This is the spot for that. And of course, this protrusion here doesn't bother Cherry at all, which will be her roommate right on the other side and above her, because tegus don't use any of the height. They don't climb on anything, right? This will just basically be a higher platform for the guy, and he'll be able to overlook the rest of his kingdom like that. I think it'll be fantastic, and we're gonna decorate all of that. There's gonna be stalactites. It's gonna be so cool. Several hundreds of dollars and several hours of scaping. If you guys want to see that, like a full detailed video on how we scape everything, you can do that. Otherwise, it can be a Discord exclusive, which, by the way, our Discord server is in the first link in the description, and basically it's this place where you can interact with the rest of the community. There's tons of channels, including questions of the day, and a place to share all your reptile memes. And it's all free, first link in the description, all the time. But anyway, that is enough for Cutie Pie because she's not really moving around at all. I think she'll feel more comfortable when there's soil in here. So we're gonna go bring her back, and we're gonna move on to the next animal. And that next animal just so happens to be in this shirt, and that's what we're gonna be talking about. It is Chipotle, the bearded dragon. Now, I don't know how many of you know this, but Chipotle here is actually our first lizard. Before that, we only had snakes, and I just fell in love with him. I just think he's so great. He's so personable. They're not too hard to take care of. They're so nice to hang out with and all that stuff. And they actually do like the free roam, but they don't really do all that much. Now, the fact that he's our first lizard is one of the main reasons why we put him on the shirt. But very few know the reason why we actually call him Chipotle. But it doesn't take a genius to guess it. It's obviously his color, right? He is reminiscent of a bottle of Chipotle sauce at Subway or something, right? It's just the right shade of orange. Where you have like an aioli or a Chipotle mayo or something like that, it kind of looks like that orange, right? If you look around the edge of his mouth, it's really that orange. And it goes without saying that me and Rox both love spicy food. And I don't mean just a little spicy either. I mean really spicy. Like it can go up to a 10, I really don't mind. Now, if you guys like this exact design right here, we actually have another one in mind that might make it into circulation later this year if you guys want. What we're gonna do is create 4 different mock-ups of shirts, right? We will post them on our Instagram and you guys will have the ability to vote on which shirt you want to see first. Now, one of them is obviously gonna be our boy Chipotle, the spicy lizard. And it will come with a little crest with the pepper, as well as a really cool back design that I don't want to spoil yet. And the 3 other designs, well, they'll be different animals, but you guys don't get to know that yet. I'll only tell you that when we post them. Now, Chipotle isn't really the lizard that you would see explore the most, but he certainly likes to wander, right? But then he'll freeze and he won't do anything. And I don't know what he's doing in this moment. I don't know what he's thinking about. Really what motivates him to go forward or to stop at this point is just, I don't think there's an ounce of thought behind those eyes right now. But that is one of the reasons why he makes such a fantastic animal for what we do. And these shirts, guys, they're not just for YouTube. As many of you probably know, we also run an education program for kids. And when you show up on someone's doorstep holding 2 bins of exotic animals, you might benefit from having the proper uniform because that looks better. And it's time, guys, you know, like it's the time of doing this DIY is over. Now we're really into the industrialization phase of Mystic Animals, if you will. Now, these enclosures that are just behind you are just the first step of that. But basically everything here is going to get a revamp. If you guys have been following, I think we've made like tons of videos about this, so I'm not going to go crazy on the projects, but the projects are unending and they're fabulous. Much like this little dragon here, which is fabulous as well, right? Isn't he cute? I love him so much. I just think he's so great. There's a reason why I fell in love with him, and I still do every time I look at him, which is why he has the coolest enclosure ever. He has the Octo Tank, right? If you guys haven't seen the Octo Tank episode 1, maybe we'll do an episode 2. Just update you guys on what's happening in the terrarium. It's probably one of my favorite videos that I've ever made because it's super cinematic. And he truly loves his enclosure. Like, he uses every ounce of it. Last night, he was perched up on that branch, the first one that goes across right here, and he was like all the way to the end, just with the lazy legs where he like lets them dangle. It's so funny. But oftentimes it'll be on this branch right here about like a quarter of the way, or on that branch right here catching some of the UVB. It's just his own playground, and I truly think that he can let his little mind go free in there and do whatever the heck he wants. Which is why when we take him out, he doesn't go crazy because he has everything he needs in his house. So we're gonna put him back and watch as he climbs and wants to go back to his house. Now look at that cute boy right there perched. Man, that is a happy dragon. Moving on to the next animal. And of course, you know this couldn't be a free roaming video without our boy Cherry, our mascot, our favorite. Don't tell the others that he's our favorite, but he is. And that's for so many reasons. You know, he's personable, he's kind, he doesn't have any kind of aggression or anything. He's just a cool, curious boy that loves interaction and he loves people and all that stuff, which is why we are showing him his new enclosure for the first time right now. He's never been in it, right? He's never seen it, right? This is all new for you.
Look at all the space.
And as you can see, I fit very well with him in the enclosure, and imagine that right here is going to be where his water bowl will be. It'll be pretty big, you know, something that he can fully submerge in. But I'm sitting right here, which is eventually going to be his ramp up to his platform area where he'll be able to look all over his new kingdom. Isn't that right, King Cherry? You'll be able to go all the way up here and look on at what's below. You'll be able to fully do all of your Tegu activities, which may or may not include sleeping and plopping down and not really doing much. But keep in mind, all of this will be scaped, guys. The ceiling will be rocks, the walls will all be rocks, even this wall, and not the floors, unfortunately, because, well, it's really hard to clean and we don't want like any of like the scrubbing to take off the grout that we're gonna put on it. But this area here is gonna be like a cave right there, and here is gonna be like a big big open area with like plants that are creeping into the cave. It's gonna be so cool. Now what he is licking right now is the handle from the little hatch that we mentioned earlier, and this, it won't be a problem for him. Basically it's just a little stick that'll, you know, not be in his way at all because he can climb over that. But you can see how small he looks. He still has all of this room that it's just so much space, and I love it. This little boy was about to lose all of his fingers when we got him. He was super improperly taken care of, never taken out of his terrarium. He lived in 4x2x2. Now we gave him an extra foot, but this is a lot more. This is like 4 times the space. And it just warms my heart that we were able to give that to him because he's just such a sweet animal. Look at the personality in his eyes, right? He looks at you and there's just so much thought going on behind there compared to like the bearded dragon earlier that was just clueless. This is an animal with feelings and curiosity and such an interesting behavior. They're so cool. They're really like dogs, and especially with the fact that we really helped him get better and ended up saving all of his digits, right? It's just such a miracle that we have him here, and he's just happy. And yeah, now he's looking around his new enclosure and he's like, what is this?
Isn't it big, Cherry?
It is your new home, Cherry. I don't think you understand that yet, but this is where you're gonna live. You're gonna love it. Yeah, the material is a little weird, I'm sure. You're probably not used to seeing that, but it is gonna be cool. You're gonna enjoy it once it's done. I'm not sure he understands, but I'm sure of how cute he is. And if you guys are sure of that too, then definitely let me know down in the comment section. And if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button and the subscribe button because it helps us out so much. I already talked about the Discord, so I'm not gonna bore you again, but if you guys wanna join that, it's free and it's super fun. And in the meantime, my name is Matt, that's Roxanne behind the camera.
Hi.
And that's Cherry, the red Argentine Tegu. And we are Mystic Animals, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace. Thank you so much for checking out this video, everybody. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, and if you really loved it, why don't you subscribe? It's free, you know?